Jumbo Soul Tribe, and welcome to tonight's episode of the
Unpacking podcast.
where we'll be unpacking the difference between a solstice and an equinox, looking into the relationship between the sun and the earth. Stay tuned.
Here I come. Here I come.
The earth rotates around the sun in 365 days, in two equinoxes, which the first one occurs in the third week of March in the southern hemisphere, which we know as the autumn equinox. And another one happens in September in the third week, which is known as the spring equinox. An equinox is an occurrence where the day and the night are equal. Then we get two solstices per year. We get our winter solstice in the third week of June in the southern hemisphere. This is when we experience the longest night and the shortest day. And then we get our summer solstice, which happens in December in the southern hemisphere. An occurrence happens here when we experience the longest day and the shortest night of the year. The earth rotates around the sun in 12 months. In ancient Africa, in ancient Kemet, this is 2,255 years before Christ was born, a calendar was developed and it was known as the Dendera system. In Kemet, or in ancient Africa, our first month, or what we know today as September, was always known as the month of Taibi, or what we know in Setswana as Lwetsi. The second month was October, or what we know as October now, was called Mekir, or what we know in Setswana as Phalane. Then we had our third month, Phamenoth, or what we know as November. In Setswana, this month is called Ngwanatsele. Then we had Phamoti, or what we know as December today, Sedimonthole in Setswana. Then what we know today as January was known as Phakon or Ferikgong in Setswana. Then the month of February, or what we know as February now, was in ancient times known as Paini or Tlhakole in Setswana. Then we had Epiphi, or what we know as March, or the month of Mophitlo. Then we had the month of Mesore, Moranang in Setswana, or April. Then we had the month of Thought, which we know as the month of May, or Motshegano in Setswana. Then we had Paufi, what is known as June today, or Seetebosigo in Setswana. Then we had the month of Matho, or Phukwi in Setswana, which is the month of July. The last month of the year to us was always known as Koyak, or what we know in Setswana as Phatwe. August used to be our December right now, because to the African person, a calendar was never just a record of a year's dates and days, but we use it as an administration tool in order to record spiritual or things that we could not see, the intangible, and also the physical or the material, or what we also know as the tangible, the earthly and the universal occurrences and the events. African spirituality is unseen science. Science is seen African spirituality. The year is also divided into 52 weeks, or 525,600 minutes. The original seasons of every year were only 3 and not what we know now as summer, autumn, winter, and spring. The original seasons were calculated between the periods of September to December. This period was known as Peret, or the period of germination or plowing. Then we had the period of Shemu, or the period where we harvest, the germination. This period happens between the months of January to April. After harvesting, we always knew that the rains or the floods would come during the period of Akhet, what we know as Aquarius, the period of water. The months between May to August were known as Akhet. Here in Africa, we have always observed our calendar from September to August the following year. So our first month starts as the month of Asar, the month of September. Then we go to the second month, which is the month of Het Heru. Then we go into the month of Jehuti. Then we go into the month of Neptet. This is our germination period, or what we know as Peret, when our plants grow after the floods. Then we get into the period of Shemu, where we start harvesting all that has germinated during the germination season. This is the period between January to April. In January, we have always observed that month as the month of Heru, followed by the month of February, which we observe as the month of Geb. Geb is followed by the month of March, which is led by Oset, or the Queen Isis. During this period, we observe the autumn equinox, or harvesting. In this period, we get Anpu, who runs the month of April, or represents the month of April. Then we get into the next period, the rainy season, May to August. In this period, we've always observed from the northern to the southern hemispheres different observations which have led us to know how to plan for our future, because history and the occurrences that we're able to measure have always guided us. During these periods, especially in the northern hemispheres when the rain started pouring, we started migrating and moving to other parts of the country, the continent, and other parts of the world, because we knew that all that we had planted was going to be watered, and we could not stay during those periods because it was raining and flooding. We are taught the Gregorian calendar to date, and that's why as Black people we cannot even resonate with who we are and with how things are supposed to be. The relationship between the earth and the sun is very important, and this is what Black African people have always used as a guide. Hotel.